Cavelle house and family. You approaching or you're done with 60. Now it's time to be happy. Spend your money once you're hungry. The study acting got right.
All around, especially in town. No one couldn't walk alone. Town was like a battle zone. But nowadays and so
Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Of course, it's Monday, which means we're joined by the TTPS. And this morning, we are also joining in the global observance of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Joining us in studio is Sergeant Cavelle Mills-Walters from the Special Victims Unit at the TTPS. Good morning, Sergeants, and welcome.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you with us in studio this morning. And of course, for such a critical conversation, not just at this time, but on a daily basis.
Yes.
Now, Sergeant, before we get into really the meat of the conversation, for those who aren't aware or fully don't understand the campaign of 16 days of activism, what exactly is it and why is it so important at this moment to us?
16 days of activism it's a global campaign that is celebrated every year. The TTPS, it's a campaign that deals with uniting persons in the communities or in the world to stand up strongly against gender-based violence and domestic violence. So that campaign helps us to go through our communities to educate, empower, and ask persons to step out and to step out against the fight against domestic violence.
I really like the fact that there's this level of united energy, because I think sometimes individuals can do things in their own space, in their own pockets, their own efforts, and may not realize that there are resources, there are people that they can network with in terms of saying, okay, well, how are you addressing this? But what are some of those main things that you want to, I guess, address or be working towards on during these days?
Okay, seeing that we are in a society that it's different to the United States, we have to kind of bring it into our scope. Mm-hmm. Now, we understand that persons do things on their own time. And there are persons who see offenses occurring and not reporting and saying, this is not my business. Yeah. We want persons to stop doing that. Domestic violence does not just occur to me or you. It happens to everyone, every female, every male. So we are asking persons, when you see something, say something. You have a friend who you suspect they are signs of domestic violence, you can advise them to contact the TTPS, contact the gender-based violence unit, the special victims unit rather, and we would step out and assist. There are organizations who we partner with who assist us in the fight, and once you come to the TTPS, we are going to engage those persons to have the victims not only get redress through a legal standpoint, but to get the social intervention as well. So we're asking persons, step out of your comfort zone, speak up for our victims.
But you're saying step out of your comfort zone. Is there, I don't want to use, but I will use the word specialized. Is there specialized training that happens with the unit? And I ask that question because sometimes the way that somebody say that's not my business, sometimes the facial expressions, the way that a report is received may want somebody to avoid going back. And as a male, I can also think about if that gender-based violence, if the person who is the victim is the man, what are people going to say? Why should I try to make this public, whether or not they're going to ridicule me in the unit? What are some of those things that you treat with in terms of members of the unit to deal with that?
Okay, I love this question. We are all trained in every region across Trinidad and Tobago in the unit. So when you come to the police station and you make a report there, they contact us because we are the trained specialists to handle reports of this nature. It does not matter whether the victim is male or female. We are trained to handle any one of these types of reports with any type of victim.
You know, one of the things, Sergeant, I mean, definitely just coming off of this as well, we do see some barriers to reporting for numerous reasons, but one of those barriers as well is that there is a fear that I know we definitely have to continue to work together to deconstruct by having programs like these and raising awareness. Are there lines of reporting that are anonymous for those who well, obviously are frightened and may not necessarily feel comfortable doing so?
Okay, yes, they are. You can contact us at any station through the unit and make a report that is anonymous. Nothing is wrong with it. We have experienced calls like that, and we have addressed the situations, and we reach out to the victims eventually and give them the support and the help required. So yes, you can.
I know you said that they're partners. Who are some of the people that you partner with?
So we partner with the Victim and Witness Support Unit. They offer counseling to our victims. We, in some instances with the children, where children are affected in domestic violence situations, we go through the Children's Authority. And there are also other stakeholders who like NGOs, the Social Society Network. They also partner with us to assist. 800 SAFE, that's where they get the safe housing and stuff. Those persons are partnering with us daily in this fight.
One of the things you mentioned, or rather one of the units you've mentioned, I should say, or collaborators, would be the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. And many times what comes to mind, of course, is the legal protection of children. And the legal protection in general, let's say in the scope of this conversation, when it comes to gender-based violence particularly, are there legal protections that are currently available for someone who is in danger, such as a protection order? And is this something that is easily accessible to those who will need it?
Okay, every victim that comes in and makes a report of a domestic violence report, the offer of a protection order, that's part of what we offer. So yes, a protection order is one of the things, and we advise accordingly. We go through the judiciary and the Children's Authority as well. We use persons who might be able to assist in applying for the protection order. We advise victims as well as to how they can go through making the order, or we ourselves, we have that duty as well. We can apply for the protection order on behalf of that person.
The unit exists throughout the year. What are some of the special activities that you have during these 16 days? Okay,
this year, every unit or every region has something that they want to do or offer to the public. I am attached to the region in the Eastern Division. So our activity this year is empowering victims of domestic violence. So this year we have a symposium. It's on Saturday, the 29th, and we are having a woman's symposium. It's themed Strength of a Woman. In our region, we have seen women walking through the unit with injuries. You see the physical bruises. You know for a fact they have done medicals. You know for a fact that these women are abused, and they turn and they say to you, I want no further police action. I am going back into that home. I am afraid because he is the breadwinner in that home. The symposium, actually, the objective is to empower, educate, and encourage these women not to go back. So on that day, we have persons who are going to share their entrepreneurial experiences. So we are offering courses on that day. We are offering activities on that day to empower these women to make them self-reliant. So even though they are victims, they can say to themselves, you know what, I am not going back. I can make myself self-reliant. So I can do a course in YTEP. I can do something making soaps. I could do something and have that level of confidence so that they can step forward and move forward. And that's what we want to encourage them to do. It helps them to come forward after and give and make the report and go forward so that they can have that justice is being served to them. And that is what we want to bring out to that to the public on that day. It's going to be the first ever that the police is going to engage in such a more social, rather legal or criminal side. We are trying that side to assist our victims.
You raised something in terms of one of the reasons that individuals may go back is because of fears for financial support.
Yes.
And it makes me want to ask the question, when we hear violence, is it just physical?
No, it's not just physical, it's emotional, it's financial, it's sexual. And the sexual violence is really, really, when you see it, it is really hard to absorb. So it's different types of violence that we see exposed. The physical violence, though, it's, I would say, graphic. So our perpetrators use a number of weapons on our women. And you see it when they come visibly, when they walk into our unit. So yes, there are other types of violence.
Absolutely devastating.
Yes,
and
it is.
something that, you know, as a community, we also have to do our part, and we see the TTPS doing their part as well.
Yes.
Something just coming off of DK's question, in light of the different types of violence that we see, because of course many times we go straight to the physical. We have seen a rise, unfortunately, of, let's say, threats and violence in the digital space as well. Is this something that you have also seen from your vantage point in the TTPS?
In Trinidad and Tobago, the digital aspect is not as heavy as it is internationally. But yes, in every region, we have 1 or 2 reports coming in that are digital.
And Sergeant Cavelle Mills-Walters, we want to thank you very much representing the Special Victim Unit of the TTPS. Is there any digital platforms that people can go to get more information about this workshop that is coming up in the Eastern region?
No, there is no digital platform at this moment. We really want to make it an intimate session for victims. So if you are a victim out there and you want to be a part of this workshop, we ask you to call 612-2470, extension 71092 or 90, and we would have conversation and make you a part of this event.
Okay, so remember that number,
612-2470, extension 71092
or 71090.
Yes.
And we take it from there.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Sergeant. And we want to thank you for tuning in, because there's a lot of information. We're moving from International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women to December 10, which is Human Rights Day, 16 days of activism. And we continue the conversation after this. Stay with us.